Hello, my name's Lucy. I work as a business acceptance tester at the Harpenden Building Society, and my story is about stress and how it affected me and what I did about it. So the stress I was suffering was work-related stress, but at the time I didn't realise it was stress, and I think this is something that happens to everybody. I had some symptoms of stress. I felt very uneasy sometimes in the morning when I woke up, or butterflies in my tummy. I was permanently tired, didn't seem to have the energy to do anything. I was very irritable with people, even people I worked with, and I'm not normally like that. Even a couple of times I remember crying in Teams meetings. Needless to say, the video was off and I was on mute, but I was sobbing and I had no idea why I was doing it. Nobody knew, and I just told myself to pull myself together, because basically everybody else was coping. What was my problem? What was so special about me? I also found I took offence easily with things that people said to me, where there was no offence intended, or there was no actual offence. I just seemed to interpret everything very negatively, but I just went along with it. That to me this was normal, and I think, as I said earlier, this is something that happens to most people. But the episode that really woke me up as far as the stress goes is a journey I made into London one day. I don't remember exactly when it was. It was on a work day. I'd obviously been working 9 till 5 at home. This was during COVID, and I was going into London to meet some friends for a few drinks and to go and see some musical theatre, and I was really looking forward to it. So I got on the train to Euston. It was all a bit of a rush. Got on the train, everything was fine, and I made my way down to the tube station. A journey that I have done a million times. I could do it in my sleep. I literally could do it in my sleep. Walked down the escalators, or in my case probably ran down the escalators, got on a train, sat down, and suddenly I felt uneasy. I didn't know what it was, but I felt uneasy. Not exactly panic, but something didn't feel right. So the tube pulled into the next station and I got off. And I remember the doors opened and I walked onto the platform and I looked around me and I had no idea where I was. Not only that, I couldn't take in any information around me. I could see obviously the name of the tube station, the train indicator had words on them, and I could see the letters, but I couldn't actually process them. They might as well have been in Chinese. I could not understand what they were telling me. I couldn't process the information. I couldn't make a decision. And I just stood there literally and it probably wasn't as long as it felt, maybe 45 seconds, looking around, watching all these people just walking around me, going on their business, and I was stood rooted to the spot, literally not knowing what to do. And then suddenly, it was almost like my brain rebooted, and suddenly I knew what I needed to do. I could see what I'd done wrong. I'd got on the wrong train. I was at King's Cross. I knew I needed to go back up, change, come back, whoosh. Everything was fine again. I knew exactly what I had to do. Got the train, got to my friends, had a great night, and everything was fine. But it stuck with me. This episode stuck with me. Something was absolutely wrong. I had never felt anything like this before. And when I started to reevaluate and think about this, I could see all the symptoms that I had were indicative of stress that for me was more than normal, and it wasn't right. And things weren't getting better. My work were fabulous. I had some sick leave. They gave me all the support I needed and wanted and more. But in the end, I took the decision to reevaluate my life and my priorities, and I was able to actually say, no, this is not what I want to do anymore. And as a result, I decided to leave my job and move on to something that for me was going to be less stressful. And 3 months in, that's what's happened. I'm at the Harpenden Building Society. I'm very happy. That's my story.